Hello, everyone. How are we keeping? Happy Saturday. Hope we're well this week. And today, of course, give me a second just to move this over here. Just make sure I have that. Sorry about that. Just putting that thing back because I left it on my side of my bed here. But I hope we're well. I hope all is good this Saturday evening. Everyone, I hope all is well wherever you are in the world. Too, of course. Happy Saturday. So yeah, a good bit to talk, but not much, but a bit. I know we're a minute early, which is not bad. I suppose it's better to be early than late, but yeah, the usual thing, we give it a few minutes for people to get in, then we get started on today's topics and different things like that. Of course, why not? Uh, so yeah. So yeah. Let's see, I'm fixing up a few things, so just give me a second. Yes, that's fine. I think we're fine. Everyone only was here. I think he's gone. I only seen that literally when I was came on there a second. Now, usually I'm here kind of waiting for the live stream to start. I wasn't kind of here. I set it up and then left it for a few minutes and then came back. I probably should have put up in the community post then, and I was going live at half 6. Excuse me, I'm burping a bit. I probably should have put it up, but the day that I was going live this evening, I didn't do that. I forgot all about it. I did have it on my mind at one stage, but must have completely just read out of my mind because I didn't even think about it. Just goes to show you how much I know. But yeah, hopefully notifications and stuff goes out. Because funny enough, notifications doesn't like me. YouTube doesn't like me in general. But yeah, so we see what happens. Let me see, what is this? Yeah, so I'm just looking through this here. This is to do with the book that we were talking about. I think it was Wednesday we were talking about it, yes. We see how it goes. For normal 40, and probably not go too well for, because everything's kind of going against her, which is not much loss for her, because basically she was lying about what she knew. So we see how that goes for normal 40. Not likely well, but she's going to disappear for about a week or month, and then you will find her again. So, so that's what's going to happen to her. So yeah. Yep. I think everything's fine. I'll just make sure that that everything's good. Yes, everything is good. It looks like we're live. Yes, it might just take a few minutes for notifications and stuff. I love notifications. I love YouTube. Said no one. But yeah, no, YouTube is handy now. Like, I give it shit, but I am 10 years here. Like, not doing political commentary. About 7 years probably doing political commentary. Probably 8. I don't know, something like that. But I am a long time about on YouTube. Like 10 years, 2016. I was here before that. I probably will do a video. I forgot all about my 10-year anniversary. I probably will do a video at some point, like not now, because I still have a lot to talk about and do and stuff. But maybe in a month's time, we might do something, just not be too something fancy, but just talk about it as well. What am I looking for here? Sorry, apologies. Give me a moment. What am I looking for? Yeah, no, I'm just kind of looking into it now. God. Yeah, so it would be around, probably 11 years on YouTube. Because my other channel was 20, yeah, I think it's a good one. What date was this uploaded on, actually, too? This was the 4th of June. Would that be right? 4th of June. Yeah, the 4th of June. Yeah, so this will make my first video ever, which is insane to think, but yeah, it was. But yeah, so I have been about for a good while. Even before this, it's about 11 years on YouTube. I am. Um, yeah, about that. Which is interesting because again, I only have one video on the other channel. It's a tell now I have 3 channels basically, but the other one I don't use at all. It's not going to be touched. It's crazy to think. It is really crazy to think that have been here for so long on YouTube. Like usually, a lot of people don't stick around. You have accounts, but they don't do videos and stuff. The Three Amigos. Oh, Jesus, Three Amigos in concert. It's funny how YouTube translates this. It says 3 friends, and then when I hover over it, it says the 3 Amigos. I don't know why it does that, but I hope we're well and known. I didn't see you earlier on here. You were here earlier on, like in the comments. I went off and I done something, and Hello, OJ. Should have a strong relationship with Ukraine. What do you mean by strong relationship? Like I don't think we should be best friends, but of course we should have a relationship. With our and Europe too. We should have diplomatic relations, if that's what I mean. But I'm not saying we should be best friends with them. I'm not suggesting that. But of course, we should have cultural relations with them, if that makes any sense. But I'm not suggesting that we have Zelensky. We have Zelensky on speed dial into that, if that makes any sense. But we should have a relationship, yes, of course, with Ukraine. But not any different to the rest of Europe, I suppose, if that makes any sense. Yes, I know that, yeah. But the YouTube was, you know the way it's new, this new version of YouTube, where it translates stuff and stuff. So, but no, I do. Like we should have cordial relations, but I don't think we should have a strong relationship. It depends what you mean by strong relationship. Like, well, I suppose what do you define a strong relationship? I suppose because there's different ways you can define it. Like, do you mean no diplomatic relations, or do you mean, I suppose that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm probably looking the more technical way. And I say, for example, we don't do any business at all with North Korea and Whiteley. So, like, do you mean we'd have no business at all with them, or anything, or no communications at all with them? I suppose that's what I'm talking about. I suppose North Korea is very different. It's on the other side of the world too, I suppose. North Korea. But yeah. So I am. My channel is now. My channel is 10 years old. If I would have knew that, I forgot all about it, to be totally honest, the day. I knew about it last month, and I forgot all about it. So I should have probably done that. Good evening, Fiona. How are we keeping? Yes, of course, yes. But I don't know what you define a strong relationship as well. So if OJ is still here, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by strong relationship. But of course, Ukraine isn't in NATO. I know they get supported by NATO and stuff, but they're technically not in NATO. Even though NATO is funding them and stuff, they're technically not a NATO country. If that makes any sense. Open Calvin Cole, oh Jesus. But no, technically, I'd be 11 years on YouTube, technically. With the other channel. I probably will do a video talking about it because I do think it's important, kind of just to look back in the history. But yeah, it would be 11 years technically, but I did because I did have a channel before this channel. I'd say it'd be about 7 or 8 years doing this political commentary and stuff. I can't remember how it's when I showed my face and stuff. It must be 8 years. I don't know exactly. I can't really remember, to be totally honest with you. But that'd be an interesting thing to look into. When was the first time I showed my face and stuff? I can't remember. See, it's a long, long time ago too. Like, it doesn't seem that long, but it is a long time when you really think about it. Like, it is a fucking long, long time. I presume notifications didn't go out. Did anybody get notifications? I presume it didn't go out, as usual. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it seems to. Yeah, no bothers. Yeah, no bother. Got notification, Lenny. Very good. I'm happy to hear that. About time we get people get notifications. That's why we set up the Facebook group and stuff, the Messenger group. I don't know if anybody's on Messenger. If you wish to be added, we can add you to the group. We should probably have other groups, to inform people when we're going live and doing things. Yeah, you were just filming around random places. You were filming around a random apartment, everyone. I seen that video. So yeah. Yeah, that's quite literally what I do too. Honestly, the same as me. But I do have notifications on for some things, but it's very rare. Sometimes they work, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, 99.9% of the time, it doesn't work, basically. So I just have to, so I constantly just refresh. But when you're particularly a YouTuber like myself, you always have to. Yeah. You were getting drowned too. Yeah, it was quite rain when I was watching. It was only 16 seconds or something like that. You did your back, like you got an injury to your back. Yeah, like I know myself, I got a back injury back a few years ago, and it's awful. So I do feel for you, Lenny. But the best thing to do is not distrain yourself, not do too many, do too much. Take it in steps, and take time. Do take time to just relax and chill out. Because you don't want to overstrain your back either. If it's already so, don't overdo it, basically. So take it handy. That's my advice. Because the worst thing is just to keep going, because that doesn't help. Just keep going. I know it's easy to say, but I've seen people with had back injuries. I knew somebody who had bad hips. Basically, his hips was going to go, and he thought he was fine. And he kept going. And both his hips went, and that didn't help. That didn't help him or didn't help anybody. Sorry, I'm just reading that out of the yoke. Oh, the employment, like you mean what they call them kind of things? Yeah, like the employment schemes, yes. So you were kind of picking up stuff, and I presume you were probably doing weeds or probably grass, was it, or something? Yeah, but still, at the end of the day, don't be killing yourself for them kind of like schemes and stuff. Don't be killing yourself for them. Because they are just kind of technically only for people that are going back into work. Like, technically, that's what they are for. Mainly, it's for people that are near retirement. A lot of people I know on the schemes, like on the schemes one here, to be near retirement, basically, be older men just have a year or two before retirement. Give them something to do. And there's a lot of people that are on them schemes too that are small farmers. But yeah, no, but don't be kidding yourself because again, you get very little thanks for it. Because it is only kind of, it's supposed them schemes are kind of trying to get you into work, if that makes any sense, Lenny. So I wouldn't overdo it, because you will get no thanks for it. Because I see it in the council and stuff. Like when I'm on the council and stuff, there's people that they're doing the same basis as what the council would be doing. Even though I'm only part time now, but what I'm trying to say is they do the same kind of work as us, maybe a bit different than some. Like if they're walking in a GA pitch and stuff like that, that's a bit different than I suppose being out in the street. But yeah, like that's just the thing. But at the end of the day, what them like this CE schemes and stuff, they're technically only for people that near retirement and stuff, and a lot of them people too be trying to get them off the dole. Basically, that's what them schemes are basically are for. But in a lot of cases, they're just to try and get people into work, basically. But don't be kidding yourself for them schemes because you get no tax for social welfare. Um, um, but yeah, because you get the dot to sort, even though it probably would cost a bit. But you shouldn't if you do have an injury and stuff. Don't be. I'm sure your boss or whoever your bosses or your supervisors and stuff wouldn't like just tell them you're not great. Because they can't really force you to work, etc. Because it is only a scheme. I presume you're full time or you're part, if you don't mind me asking. Yeah, like I presume you had to pay for it. I presume yes. And I don't know. It depends. I'm not actually sure about that actually when it comes to the community scheme. I don't know. It depends if you're on full time or part time. Because if you have a medical card, you might be on a little bit less. You might have a medical card basically, so you might get. Well, you still probably would have to pay for it anyway. But no, don't be killing yourself, Lenny, for CE schemes and for the government anyway. I wouldn't satisfy them. Yeah, don't be doing unpaid hours. Like, don't be doing unpaid hours. Do whatever you have to do. I think it's probably 20 hours. Would it be 20 hours a week? Like I'm on 19 and a half hours on on the council, but it was full time obviously until I went to college and stuff. And of course, I couldn't do college and the council at the same time, so that's why I went down to part time, which is only 20 hours a week, which it's not enough probably to get all the work done. But yeah, still don't be killing yourself for it. But I wouldn't do any extra work like for nothing too. Like it'd be good. Whatever you do in your hours is good enough. You probably would, yes. But he's only in 19 and a half hours. He's only part time. Say if he was full time, it might be a bit of an issue. But he should be entitled to when he's part time, because he'd be only on about. I don't even know. He wouldn't be even getting the minimum wage. He'd be getting less than that. But you get him saying he'd be entitled to it because Yeah, I get you. I understand. I do the same kind of work as you, but on the couch, of course. And it's not great. It's not great work for your back. Let's put that way. Lifting heavy stuff and bags and stuff. Yeah, like it's about 20 or 19 hours. I'm not sure actually, but that's what part time is. Like I'm on the couch, but it's part time. Now I'm only on 19 and a half hours. Basically, I do 19 and a half hours of the week. But when I was on the couch, it was on 40 hours. Like when I was on the couch full time, I was doing 40 hours. I'm only on part time now. Basically, it's only to do me until I get to college, basically in August. So that was the deal that was concocted between me and the council. Because originally I was going to leave altogether in February, and basically was talked into staying for another little while yet. So yeah, do West. Like at the end of the day, it's only a fucking scheme. I wouldn't kill yourself for it. Because them schemes too, they don't go on forever. Like you only get a few years on it, isn't that right? Or unless you're on there's a farming scheme, but I hardly did run the farming scheme. The farming scheme be if you own land and stuff. But yeah, CE scheme and stuff is only like a few years, as far as I know. I'm not too familiar with the schemes, but they're only like a few years, about 4 or 5 years. This is something like that. CE schemes, And then there's another scheme called TOOS, isn't it? TOOS scheme, TOOS thing, which is only about a year and a bit or something like that, as far as I'm getting. And then there was another one back years ago. I don't think it exists anymore. It was job incentive or something, job incentive, something like that. How did you on that? Because that was back in the early 2000s, and basically the people that are on it now are near retirement. Yeah, like don't be if the rest of them are not doing any work, don't be overdoing it for them either. Because at the end of the day, it's only a scheme. It is only a part-time thing, and you get very little to no thanks from the government or social welfare for it. You know, just to say, Lenny. So don't be killing yourself, and take it handy. No, do take it handy. Don't be killing yourself. There's plenty of other stuff out there that's better too than the schemes. Yeah, no bother, Lenny. No bother at all. But as I say, don't be overdoing it. Take it handy. It'd be different if you were working in the army or something, But it's only a scheme at the end of the day. It's only a part-time scheme. The worst thing too I'm doing here. I'm bending over a bit. I should probably have the computer a bit more close because I'm bending over into the thing. Jim, come here. Yeah, even take a course like them kind of courses. Yeah, if you need to be. Yeah, there's plenty of other options too. Yeah, I wouldn't be too familiar with all that kind of stuff, like the schemes and stuff. I know of some of the stuff. I don't know all of it, to be honest. But there's other stuff out there. Yeah, but I wouldn't kill yourself for a scheme and for the government either. Like I used to kill myself for the government here, and I wouldn't satisfy them anymore. Like that video will come out in August. Like basically what was decided to keep me here for another while was basically this kid shut me up for another while too. You know. Yeah, right. But see, they want to kind of, especially now, they would want to get people off the dole because of the European presidency. So they're kind of forcing a lot of people into everything to get them out of the dole, like, if that makes any sense. Like it's happening in cavan. They're just forcing everybody into anything to get them off the dole because it looks bad in the government. They couldn't give a damn if the people were homeless or whatever happened to them. You know. Yeah, exactly, Ellen, only yes. Because they wouldn't care at the end of the day if his back went or something like that happened, and they wouldn't care. The social welfare wouldn't give a damn. The government and the TDs wouldn't give a damn. You get my point. It sadly is the truth. And especially if I wouldn't mind if it was a full-time thing, but it's only part-time. Like at the end of the day, it is only a part-time thing. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. But I can't remember now. Give me a second. The most part, yeah, pretty much in a lot of cases. But they are good. Like I went to the course in in Cavan Modern Education Training Board. Basically, it was to do for the college that because it'll be starting in August. Like it was a temporary thing. Like it was only a part-time course and stuff, but it was handy. But it's not really the education training board that it's more the Department of Social Protection that'll be putting people into work more than that. It's more the Department of Social Protection. From what I see, it's not the education boards. It's more the Department of Social Protection, just to get people off the dole. That's their main goal. Not so much the education training boards. Not so much. From at least what I've heard. But see, this is the thing. I've heard so many times about this person retiring and the other person retiring, and then when the time comes to stay on, it's the same as myself. I was supposed to retire from the council, in February, and I'm still here for the moment. But I was supposed to be retired in February, but I'm still around for another while yet. And the word is yet. So we see how that goes for them. Yeah. Oh, I suppose I better get started on talking about some political stuff. See, I think so the first thing I talk about is to do with the. I'm trying to think now. My brain's a bit mush now. It's to do with the crime statistics for County Cavan. Now, there was 3,200 something crimes committed in County Cavan last year in 2025, which is a lot, I'm sure you would agree. That is an insane amount of crimes for such a small county with 90 retired with the past 5-year contract with the Tony Blair Institute, yes. With 3,200 something crimes that were committed. The majority of them were in the town, Cavan town, 1,500 out of them. In Modern, it was only like 2,000 something, like barely 2,000. But Cavan has 94,000 people or so. And it's insane amount of crime for such a small population in retrospect. Because you have to remember in 2024, Cavan was along Dublin. It was Dublin and then Cavan as the most crime-ridden counties in the country. So it's improved a bit, but it's still not great. But you have to remember, that's only what's reported. That's only telling you what's reported. So I think there could have been 6,000 crimes happened in Cavan, like minor stuff, very minor offences, if that makes any sense. They wouldn't report it. And it wasn't reported to the Gaudi. The Gaudi just couldn't be asked to deal with it. So there definitely was more crimes than that. That's only basically a small fraction, probably, what happened. A small picture of what happened, if that makes any sense. Because a lot of people just couldn't be bothered to deal with the Gaudi and the courts and stuff and making complaints. Because basically nowadays, if you make a complaint against somebody, you're nearly the criminal. That's the way the state sees you as, basically. It's the same if your house was robbed, etc. The Gaudi would barely come out and say, "Oh, do we have to do any work?" Basically, that's what they would say to you. But yeah. So a lot of people just couldn't be bothered to report things nowadays to the Gaudi because you'd be better reporting them to the man fucking in the moon. The man in the moon will do more about it. But yeah, so they were the latest figures. Now I want to talk about the triple lock. Video Deed, Fianna Fáil, TD, been there since God was a caution, like he's literally there 40 years in the doll, is on about having a referendum to propose on the triple lock, etc. Because Micheál Martin wants a referendum, on can we have more ministers in the government, etc. And of course, that's going to go well for him if it does happen. Just to say, everybody's going to vote against it, so that's going to go well for him. But long story short, Willie O'Deed is in government. Is he going to do anything about it? Because he's sitting there in the Dáil benches and the government benches. Is he going to stand up for the people? Is he going to resign his seat? Is he going to rebel against his party? Because it's all right yapping on Twitter, but he's been yapping before about the hate speech bill, etc. But he was nowhere to be found when the time came about it. Hello, Lisa. Sorry, I'm busy yapping. I hope we're well. Hope all is good in the United States. Nothing to do with us. But yeah, so Willie O'Deed should speak out a bit more for the Irish people and stop yapping on Twitter. Go and do something. He's in the government. He's there that long. He can rally 6 or 7 of them in Fianna Fáil and rebel against the party if he wanted to. That's what will really put a stop to the triple lock and the immigration crisis too. If he really wanted to do something, Willie O'Deed, but he won't. He's too afraid to lose his big salary. And his position in Fianna Fáil, even though it doesn't matter to him, he only has another few years left there anyway, because he couldn't go on until he's 110. But he should man up a bit. That's what I try and say to him. So that was that. So we were just talking to this about the beginning about Norma Foley. Of course, Norma Foley, typical. She's pissed everybody off because she's basically lied to everybody's faces. No shock. But she's lied to everybody's faces about this book, What Is Tea? Now, as you know, OT has removed it from the list. Not that list, not the Epstein list, but probably was Epstein was on the list too. But from the list that was recommended by Children's Book Ireland. And Norma Foley knew about this book. Now, Black and Tan's Charlie Flanagan said that he told Norma Foley about it a few years ago. But let's be fair, can you trust the Black and Tans? That's like asking to trust the Black and Tans. So you have to take that with a grain of salt because, let's be fair, Charlie Flanagan is not the most reliable person in the world to listen to. But yes, and Norma Foley was told about this many times. There was emails sent to her in 2023 about this when she was Minister for Education, etc., and she did nothing about it. Of course, she knew when Ben Skellen asked her the other day about it. But typical Norma Foley, she just doesn't give a shit. And you won't find her for the next 7 weeks, basically. Because she's going to disappear. Because she's pissed everyone off. Because it's quite clear that she was lying. Like, she was quite literally lying. No, the Black and Tans were like British auxiliaries, like an auxiliary unit during the War of Independence, etc. They were part of the British Army, basically. A lot of them were from the First World War, etc. It goes back to the Irish War of Independence. It's a long story, but I do recommend you having a look at like the Black and Tans. Like you probably often heard come out to Black and Tans. It's an Irish rebel song. But yes, the British Army basically. That's what it's auxiliaries though in the British Army. But have a look at it. It's during the Irish War of Independence, etc. Back in the 1930s. The Black and Tans committed horrible atrocities in Ireland. On the orders of Winston Churchill, as British Home Secretary, I think it was, yeah. What's the Home Secretary? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was Home Secretary. I'm not sure actually. Home Secretary, Secretary of War. But yeah, so Charlie Flanagan, what I'm saying about that is Charlie Flanagan, along with Leo Varadkar, the Taoiseach at the time, Prime Minister, they wanted to commemorate the Black and Tans for raping and killing thousands of Irish people during the War of Independence. They wanted to have a big celebration for the OIC too, of course, the police service and all the Royal Irish Constabulary. They wanted to have a big celebration for it. Imagine saying that in any sane country, that let's celebrate people that killed Irish people, that raped Irish people. That's basically what they were wanting to do. Like, I know it sounds the most insane, but they actually want to do it, which is absolutely fucking mad. The Fine Gael, came along and said, "Oh, we want to do this." Like, imagine saying that in Finland, or like take for example in Finland, let's go and celebrate the Russians. What the Russians did during the Second World War to us. Let's go and celebrate that. It was like going over to America. Let's go and celebrate the British for what they did to us during the War of 1812, etc., and the American War of Independence. Like, nobody would do that. Like, you don't see America turning around, "Oh, let's celebrate the British soldiers born in the White House." Like, that's pretty much, like, no country would do it. No sane country would do that thing. Yes, quite literally. I would only kind of hit the nail on the head. Yeah, they just want to ignore it. See, along with the one that happened in England, but that was in December, the media just kind of want to move on very swiftly from it, if that makes any sense. So that's why they kind of just run away from it. Even though you hear bits of it, you do hear still bits of it. But I don't think they want to talk about it. They just don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it at all. But it should be talked about because it's very worrying how a man can be killed on the street. And apparently, Rodrigo Gorman's house wasn't that far away from where he was killed. That's what I was told. Yeah, like it'd be like the people of Libya too, celebrating Barack Obama and stuff like that. Like, why would you do that? Like, it'd be like take for example the French celebrating the Germans coming the Nazis. Like why would you do that? Like even Poland particularly would have it very bad because Poland had the Russians and the Germans. So imagine them coming along into the Polish government and the Polish parliament. Let's celebrate the boat. Like you think people in Poland are going to listen to that? When was this? Oh, you mean you probably talk about the stabbing that was in December of Henry. He was stabbed in Southampton, I think it was. Yeah. But I think so the stabbings every day in England. But I presume that's what you're talking about. Good evening, Shisha. How are we keeping? It's been a while. How are we keeping? Yes, that's insane. But I'm not sure, Lisa, which one now you're talking about. But I presume it's that one. I'm not sure. There could be something else that's after happened that I'm not aware of. But I'm not sure. Speaking of actually murders and stuff, the girl of Sheena O'Connell, our good friends in Garda Sheena O'Connell, listen to this bit. That the Gardaí are going to spend 150 million, 100 million to 150 million on body cameras. So these are body cameras to record, like you've seen in the video with Henry. Oh, yeah, that was Henry. That's the one from December. Yes, just when we're speaking about body cameras, that some Gardaí in Dublin and Limerick, etc., have body cameras at the moment. The Gardaí are going to spend 150 million on body cameras. Now, it's a good idea. Don't get me wrong. We see with the Henry case that only for the police body camera, we would not know what was said, if that makes any sense, because we can see that the cops pulled them out and handcuffed them, because again, we would only be able to tell by what the people said that seen it. But the police body camera basically showed the whole lot, that's what it showed. So they are good. They are good, the police body cameras. But I listen to this next, but listen to this bit, that in Scotland, they had to get 10k body cameras. In Ireland, they're only looking for 15k. Keep that in mind, 5,000 the difference. But in Scotland, it costs 13 million euro for the police in Scotland to get it. In Ireland, it's costing 150 million to get 15k body cameras. So what is the problem here? Who's getting that money? Let's be fair. Who is getting it? Because clearly there's something happening here. Somebody's pocketing the money. Yeah, so I was told the Walter Gorman only lived near enough, but I'm not sure. I'm not from Dublin, but somebody told me that. I don't know how true that is. I never fact checked that. Yes, in Galway, yes. Yeah, like her boyfriend. I think it was her boyfriend. Many times the guards were out with him. And he even got a restraining order to stay away from her. And he violated that in June. And yeah, January. And he was basically nothing was done with him, basically. So that's the Irish state has a lot of responsibility for what happened there too, because clearly he probably was a danger. Clearly, by his actions, he was a danger, and he seemed to be a very violent individual too. Sorry, hello, Sharon. How are we keeping? Yeah, of course. Well, I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. Everybody can money is the same as the bike shed thing. The pigs are eating it, yeah. But still, it's important to have it. Like, it's important to have it, as we've seen in that case in England. Only for the body cam, we would never know. We could, I didn't know how bad it was. Like, I heard about it in December when it happened last year. But at the time, we had no body cam. There was nothing. It was just basically people saying, "Oh, this happened." But we didn't have the proof. But with the body cam, it was open proof on what happened. That everything that was said was right. At the time, it was like, we don't have the evidence to definitively say that he was stabbed right and he was on the ground, and then the police arrested him. You get what I'm saying? Where am I now? Sorry, apologies, I'm all over the place. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading through just things. France. Oh, you mean the riots? Is that what you're talking about in France? I don't really think too much about her, OJ. I don't think too much about her. I let her do what she wants to do, but I don't pass any remarks. No, I have better things to worry about than that. Sorry, surely, Adrian, the IT system would cost over 7 million. No, you're mistaken. 7 million for Irish Rail. It's 50 million. What are you on about 7 million? 50 million. It was 50 million for Irish Rail. It was 50 million, not 7 million. But yeah, of course, there have to be a whole IT system and the whole shebang, yes. But you know yourself, if Scotland, because again, as I read out there, in Scotland, they got 10k cameras, right? Body cameras, 10k. and they paid 13 million for it. Keep that in mind. And Ireland is ordering 15k body cameras. Keep that in mind too. So how in Ireland, if Scotland paid 13 million for 10k body cameras, how is Ireland getting 5,000 more for 15k, right? 15k body cameras, but we're paying 150 million. How is Scotland paying 30 million? Ireland's paying 150 million. You get what I'm saying? How is that? Only 5,000 the difference. Clearly, there's somebody getting money somewhere. Oh yeah, you mean the yes, of course I get that. Yeah, the Arcats one, yes, exactly. Imagine you had to specifically tell me which one because there's that many IT projects that just fucking throw money down the drain. But yeah, no, yes, of course, the IT system, yes, and the Arcats, yes, and the big fucking machine that they use, the big scanner, they never used. They're using it now, but they never used it before. Yes. But yeah, there was an insane thing I just seen on Twitter there about an hour or two ago. Now, this is to do with, I suppose, if you want to bring your bike on, I think, or rent the bike. So this is this thing here. So this fellow was using the Transfer of Ireland cards, the CTFI, Transport for Ireland. And he was saying, how can he not scan this? Because there's only QR codes. You see the QR codes. He couldn't pay with his card, basically. He had to scan the QR code. And this is what he said. So we understand your frustration. Your offensive language, basically. You get what I'm saying? And then the link, do you see the link they shared with him? Do you see that link there? Well, they said, look this, forward page now found. So the link that they shared with him wasn't working. And the machine wouldn't take his card or anything, so it's great. Great country. Living in Dublin must be stressful. Are you not living in Dublin City? I told you what. But yeah, no, it must be stressful. Like Dublin be fucking, it's just a disaster. The same as the majority of the country is a disaster. But yeah, like I don't know if anybody's seen the video from Paul Nolan yesterday. Did anybody see it? This was to do with some fellow, I think from India or somewhere. He had his trousers down in the middle of the street shouting at people. I don't know what was his problem. But anyway, the Gardaí came along. There was only one Gardaí. I don't know where the rest of them were, but there was only one woman guard there to arrest him. Now, thankfully, she got him to the ground, and members of the public helped him. In Cork, I always thought you were from Dublin, Saoirse. Jesus Christ, I'm always named a US Dublin person. So I'm misgendering you now. I'm misgendering the person from Cork, calling you a dub and stuff. I think I've called you a dub 3 or 4 times before. Of course, yeah, no man can save Ireland. Yes, of course, I agree with that. So yeah, you have to forgive me for that. So don't report me to Garda Síochána for that. Yeah, like delivery like them people that work in delivery jobs, I wouldn't trust them. Like particularly on scooters and stuff, I don't trust them. But I don't know what his problem was. Like the fellow in Paul Nolan's video, I don't know what was the problem. But the woman guard was on her own. Like in fairness, members of the public stepped in to help the woman arrest them, which fair play to them. But as I'm saying, there wasn't much care from. Do you think there would have been 3 or 4 Gardaí going out to it? Especially the woman on her own against the man. He could have easily pulled out a knife and stabbed her. He could have done that, but thankfully he didn't. But you get what I'm saying. Sorry, where am I now? I'm missing stuff. Yes, of course. They're talking about giving themselves a pay rise. I'm sure you've heard that. They want a 10,000 euro pay rise. So you'd be happy to hear that, Lenny. Sorry, apologies. That they want a 10,000 euro pay rise because they've been working too hard. So you'll be happy to hear that, Lenny. I'm sure you're delighted that they'll be getting a nice pay rise. No tax paid at all or anything. You live in the countryside, yeah. I think I seen actually you and Kerry the other day. I think yes, I think so. Was that? Yeah, that was you. I think. See, there's that many people nowadays. I can't remember who's who. But yeah. What the fuck is that? You finished your bacon, Jesus. Kerry's the fine. What the Healy-Ways would love to hear you saying that. How much did Mikey Healy-Way pay you? Normal Foley. We're down seeing Normal Foley. I always knew you were in with Normal Foley now. Yeah, like the Gaudi would know what to. Like she was going to pepper spray him until somebody tackled him. But yeah, if he was called a name, the Gaudi would be down the droves. Like if somebody called him a name, the Gaudi would be everywhere. They send out the armed support unit and the whole shebang. Yeah, like OT itself is just a scam. Let's be fair. That's what it's turned into. I always knew you wouldn't. Yeah, I always knew you were going in to talk to them. You went to the pub probably too. But yeah. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be nice down in Kerry and stuff. Down in Kerry. Unfortunately, they don't have the greatest politicians, may I say. I suppose that's the same for the whole country. Oh, it is all just bullshit, the World Cup. Like, especially, I don't know if they're still going to do it with checking people's phones and stuff. Like, not many people are going to go to the US and stuff for it. But Donald Trump's bringing it on himself in a lot of cases. Whatever but before, but he's definitely bringing it on himself now. With the war in Iran, etc., because it's still going. It still hasn't. It's not solved yet. And of course, him fucking building the UFC match in front of the White House, etc., knocking down half the White House and stuff. It's not great looking. That's bad. Who's which? Which? Who's that? Sorry, I'm confused. The cutest politicians, I guarantee you. Cutest politicians. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, we all know about OT getting a big fucking, basically being bailed out, So me, how Malcolm famous said the banks wouldn't bail out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, but it's still going to hang over the event. Like, it still will. But Donald Trump, you know yourself, he's going to make it into some big fucking charade because he wants to be the centre of attention, Like, he's going to go out probably and start playing the football himself because he just always wants, like, I don't know if you've seen his latest Truth Social posts, but he's basically saying everybody around the world loves Donald Trump. Like he's the person in the United States. Like, are you not worried about sorting out the war that you started and the war in Ukraine and stuff, instead of worrying about everybody around the world should like me and stuff? Like, You get what I'm saying, but he's going to do something like for himself. He's going to put a big picture of himself up or something in the football match or something. Well, I think happen. The West has fallen. What's this? Argentina. Oh no, we're not going to Argentina. Oh no, we're going to Argentina. We're off to Argentina, boys. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? I'm just looking at how to buy those treats. Yeah, I seen that they made over $1 billion or something like that in the last year or so. But see, people just get too addicted to them. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still bad. But at the end of the day, I suppose it's up to people how do they spend their money, even though it's not great. But see, when people win, they just don't know when to stop. Like when they win once, they just don't know when to stop. I've seen it before, unfortunately. Somebody would win, say, 10, 15 euro, and they'd be like, oh, I go for do it another, put in another 10 or 15 euro. And then they lose that, and they'd be like, oh, I could win it again, and the cycle just keeps repeating. Oh yeah, there shouldn't be any on TV. Yeah, definitely. But still, I don't think it would do anything basically because not many people watch social media nowadays. See, it's all these kick streamers. I don't know if you've seen them, but all these kick streamers are all sponsored by gambling websites. Like they're all sponsored by out the ass basically. I don't know if you ever seen Kick, but it's just constant gambling streaming, and the same with these porn websites and stuff. Like all of them are sponsored by big gambling sites. Like it's insane. And that's what's costing a lot more than the TV ads because not many people watch TV nowadays. Oh, young people are getting their friends fight in general with just social media. Not even that too. I think porn too is more the worry for young people more than gambling. It's more kind of people in the middle ages that are gambling a lot. But there's young people. Don't get me wrong, but it's more like a lot of young people can't pay the bills that knowing you'll gamble. So, they can't pay the bills. They can't pay the bills. West has fallen. West has fallen. Immigrators. But yeah, it's insane too the profits that they make because even in Cavan Town, the gambling industry, like there's 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 gambling places in Cavan Town alone, and Cavan Town isn't that big of a town. But it's insane how they make any. Like I'd never thought they would make as much money, but they do. They must be making money because they're still open. So, but it's insane. But you often wonder where a lot of these people get the money. But yeah, it's quite insane because it's only a few months and nobody made $1 billion new and stuff. Yeah, of course, open up to a bunch of apartments. Yeah, but it's easy for him to say yes, of course. But he's not wrong in that. He should probably open up a bunch of apartments. Gambling and Cavan, yes, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. But see, Cavan people are full of money. They have we own the whole world. We have so much money we don't know what to do with it. See, even when you drive along the road there in Cavan, the whole money's underneath the tarmac. All the people hide their money underneath the tarmac. So that's how we hide our money. The revenue never knows where to find it. Yeah, I wouldn't know too much about. I know who he is, Danny Dyer, but I don't know much else about him. But yeah, gambling in Cavan. Super casinos in Cavan? No, not really. No, not really. They're just kind of paddy powers and stuff like that. Not really any super casinos. No, nothing really that comes to mind. There used to be a casino in Cavan, yes, but that's long gone. It's long gone. It used to be underneath we said the multi-story car park, yeah, but that's long gone. That's gone 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. just after the COVID. Yeah, so there's no super. That used to be a kind of casino, but it's gone. It's long gone. So it's basically just paddy power, and all that kind of stuff. That's all there is in Cavan, but still does help. Yeah, it's worse nearly than cigarettes, and yeah. But thankfully, I stayed away from all of it. Cigarettes and alcohol, and the whole shebang. And you're kind of better off. But it's still the same with alcohol and cigarettes nowadays. Nobody could afford to be with the economy. See, I don't be watching the telly at all, so I couldn't tell you about the ads that's on it. Unless Santa Mountain goes on them. So if Santa Mountain goes on them, then we might have the discussion then. But OT, if they put Santa Mountain on the ads, they might actually do that. So we probably should not say that. They probably do it just to spite me. Gambling and cavan. Well, I never. Yes, but not even like nearly even just living your life nowadays. You're guaranteed to have fuck all money anyway. But definitely if you're alcohol, smoking or anything like that. Or smoking, I think is nearly the worst of the whole lot of them. Because every time there's a budget, it goes up by 50 cents. It goes up by a good bit. Yeah, that'd be good. That could be the new wee brand of RT. People actually might pay their TV license then. Maybe, possibly, could be. Probably shouldn't give them ideas. The West. The West. The West has fallen. But anyway, probably we have to go in a few minutes' time, unfortunately, because I have other things I need to do, unfortunately, this evening. I'm a bit busy this evening than I usually would be on a Saturday night when I was young. Yeah, they're going to make a buck now in the World Cup when that starts. The gambling places, the gambling websites too will make a buck or two. They make the bucks. The West. I haven't done any favor yet, but it's still not great to be drinking like every week and stuff. No drug use, yeah, still not great too. Which about the we didn't even get? I don't even think we got to that. Did we even mention that? I don't even know. Did I even say? But I can't remember. I probably did. Yeah, like what we know so far from the first 3 months of this year, that there was 80 evictions of people in County Cavan from January to March. We don't know from March to now, basically. But presumably it's near enough the same. What I'm saying by that could be more, could be 200 for all we know. Because it's still not great in a few months in a year that we had 80 evictions. And that's only in a county that's very small compared to Cavan. So if you added up the whole country, it would be quite bad, let's put it that way. Because 111 people are, a lot of them in emergency accommodation. Some of them are homeless, but a lot of them are on emergency accommodation, like in hotels. What I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's quite bad, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better, unfortunately. But we don't know about from March to now, if that makes any sense. We don't have the figures from that, so we have to wait a while to be seen. But it is still a lot of people, as far as from what I've found out too, that there's a good bit of people. Well, again, the government were told about this, that this would happen, but they refused to listen. Um, like they're pretty much done as like they're pretty much meant to do this. Let's put it that way, because it's not by accident. That's the thing. It was kind of all designed that this would happen. Because there's no way they didn't know this wouldn't happen, basically. Um, but they did know this would happen. That's the simple thing. Freezing or lagging. It shouldn't be. It should not be. Hopefully not. But we're just about to go anyway, Lenny. So it could be probably just interference. But it seems to be fine. Looking at the connection here, and it seems to be all right. Might be just have to refresh because it does looks all right. Yeah, it does look all right to me. Like I'm just looking at the stats. Yeah, it seems to be fine. It dipped there for a while ago, but it seems to be all right. It seems to be the same frames as it was a few minutes ago, so it doesn't seem to be much changed. Because I'd say probably just interference. But anyway, I think we'll probably leave it there for tonight because I have something to do, unfortunately, at 8 o'clock. So unfortunately, the leave early. So there'll be no GA game tonight, unfortunately, too. But we might play it tomorrow night. We might do the cavan Leitrim game, the big game tomorrow. Sorry about attacking Adrian. Yeah, well, the few Russians that are out to get me at the moment. But yeah, but it's them fucking Leitrim people. That's the problem. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you, Lenny, of course. I hope your back gets better, but don't be killing yourself. You hear me? Walking, because you get the same tags for even if you never did a bit of walk, they still give you still get the same tags as what the other people that are there. So don't be killing yourself, especially if you have a bad back. Don't be doing it. And tag Sisha, of course, Fiona, Aaron only, of course, too, or Jave is still here. A few other people, Lisa too was here. Thank you, Lisa too, if she's still here. I appreciate it as always, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully we'll be back Wednesday. All going well, of course. There will be a few videos up probably tomorrow. And there's a few videos already on the Breathnik channel, so have a look at them. So yeah, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night, and goodbye.